Blazers playing host to Mukwonago. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into our broadcast tonight along with Terry Kelly. John Weiser with you as we get set for a big matchup tonight amongst two of the big powers in the Classic 8 Conference, Kettle Marine and Mukwonago. And this is going to be an interesting matchup tonight. Two different styles of football we're going to see here tonight.
And after tonight, there's only 3 conference games left, so this is a critical battle. You want to get your wins stacked up so you get to the playoffs.
4 wins get you eligible in conference play.
We'll see how it plays out the last 3 weeks.
We mentioned styles tonight. Offensively for Kettle Marine, what are we going to see?
We're going to see the Wild End as a team that loves to pound it on the ground, although last week, 16 for 16, fantastic running back a year ago.
Don't underestimate this Mukwonago defense.
Jack Savasta, holds that defensive backfield together. Noah Dodds, a tackling machine for the Mukwonago.
Let's talk laser offense for Kettle Marine.
Well, Jake Spellman, the tight end, they say he's Mr. Everything.
So we shall see if they make it number 3 tonight. It's Kettle Marine and Mukwonago, Classic 8 matchup on My 24.
Great lights, jeez.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully revamped Culver's Stadium here at Kettle Marine High School. And here is our coin toss for tonight. Brought to you by the United States Army.
That is heads, that is tails. Got it? Heads.
Home of the world famous Laser Dog. Refreshing ice cold refreshment. Fresh buttery popcorn and our legendary chemical booster cup consensus and home of the world famous Laser Dog.
That is our coin toss brought to you by the Kowalski, the place kicker. He does just about everything for this Kettle Marine team this year. We're going to see him on offense tonight. Some special plays just for him. Our kickoffs tonight brought to you by Liuna Local 113. Kick off your career with Liuna Local 113.
Kind of a lucky break there for Kettle Marine. I know we wondered if they'd kick off to Savasta. He's already returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, averaging 45 yards per return on the season.
So the Mukwonago offense inside its own 5. Mason Kelly, the quarterback.
But I think that was 1,000%.
It's probably a perfect passer rating. So they'll start this one inside their own 5. Able to make the stop. Here's a look at the Kettle Marine defense. We talked about them. A couple of honorable mention all-conference players in Hawk Denor. Good Jake Spellman, an inside linebacker, 39 tackles this season. And then Ben Bester, their free safety, 16 tackles plus an interception this season. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line is where they mark him out. Gain of 25 on that jet motion. This time Kelly will keep. Breaks one tackle, spins across the 35, stretches it out across the 37-yard line. Once again, Ben Bestor in on the stop. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, building communities and careers. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
Mukwonago wanted to bust up maybe what they had is the chart on them with giving it to Nick Martin in that first carry, because the overwhelming majority of carries have gone to Mason Kelly and Mason Radabicki. They have, carried the ball between them for about 149, 150 carries.
It's Radabicki in the backfield, unbalanced line here. Radabicki gets the call, picks his way up the middle, 1st down and more across the 40. Mason Radabicki, his first carry brought down by Noah Griswold, the inside linebacker.
A year ago, Mukwonago ran the ball for almost 2,600 yards and 33 scores. That's been their MO for all these years. They really believe in running the ball, but always a couple of tricks up Mike Ganevok's sleeve.
Just when you think you got it figured out, you don't. 1st and 10 at the 42. Kelly on the option, toss to Radabicki. He's met across the 45, mark him down near the 48-yard line. It was Patrick Rock, another inside linebacker, put the shoulder into Radabicki.
Yeah, anticipating that we're going to see Kettle Marine try to do a fair amount of stunting tonight, try to get some blitzes that will confuse Mukwonago. One of the keys to the game, Mukwonago thought, would be making sure they followed their blocking rules.
Coach Ganevik also wanted to emphasize staying ahead of the chains tonight. He wanted these 2nd and short yard line and a 1st down. Karan Walker and Noah Griswold both there to make the stop, but Radabicki just banging his way through the middle of that line.
Well, a first-team all-conference performer a year ago, and he's averaging about 6 yards per carry this season.
There's Coach Mike Ganevik.
Entertaining.
You got it. Best Electric Service 1st down at the 44 of Kettle Marine. Radabicki again around the right side with some room. Mukwonago up by 6.
Something that head coach Matt McDonald was a little worried about. His front 7 is rather young, and I'm sure his 2 defensive coordinators, Chad Buchholz and Eric Solberg, was trying to figure out, okay, how do we stymie this Mukwonago offense? But you can see, how well-timed everything is.
Tonight with Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Bruce and Nick, Best Electric. Bruce, working with your son's got to be pretty cool. I know, very family-oriented at Best Electric.
Great family. All our employees are part of the family. We're happy to take care of you.
Really happy to expand our service area out this way.
Yeah, Best Electric, Bruce and Nick, they get along much better on camera. Bruce is telling them, fix your hair, boy. Awfully good guys right here. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Best Electric Service. I will be putting them to work. Zaganek will kick this one away, our Leona Local 113 kickoff. And on the return, not
Wildcat formation coming from Kettle Marine, and if that's the case, number 15, T. Kowalski.
It's going to be Cade Jersey, the junior. Excellent student, 4.2 GPA. And they will empty the backfield here. Between Marshawn Sanders, the corner, and Spellman, the tight end. Getting acquainted.
No doubt discussing how the weather's been today.
Gain of a couple, 2nd and 8, ball just shy of the 25-yard line. Again, they will empty the backfield, 3-receiver look, this side single wing to the left. And they'll go unbalanced with that wing.
Taking Braden Thompson, a 6'8", 320-pound.
Able to get their initial Best Electric Service 1st down of the night.
Well, offensive coordinator Dom Capazzo and head coach Matt McDonald talked about how they wanted to spread Mukwonago out. They didn't think they could go pound on them. They needed to spread them out. A lot of empties. We're going to see quick screens.
And they'll toss it. Here's that trick play. This is Kowalski. Throws it back to the quarterback. Jersey makes the catch across the 40 down to the 35-yard line. Gain coming back, throwing left. That brought all the defensive pressure back to the right side and allowed Jersey to have that open spot.
Kettle Marine knew they had to empty the playbook tonight. They thought that they were going to have to find ways to kind of stymie that Mukwonago defense. And one of the things Mukwonago needs to do is align properly to all the multiple formations Kettle Marine is using.
Now they're in Wildcat. This is Kowalski that will take the snap, and he will run it inside the 30.
Size, excellent athlete.
Second down. We'll call it 6 here for Kettle Marine. Cade Gunderson, the linebacker on that left side, able to make the stop as we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
So, guys, on the defensive side, defensive coaches here on the Cam side.
It's going to be the key tonight. Contain and wrap up. 3rd and 6 now for the Lasers. Ball at the 33 of Mukwonago. They're going to pass it back to the quarterback again. Jersey, contact before the ball got there. And the flag is thrown. Marshawn Sanders, the corner over on that side, got there just a shade early on Jersey.
Mistimed his hit. I don't think he quite saw the ball, so went right to the man.
One more look. Looks like a toss sweep, but nope. It's going to be a pass back to the left side.
15-yard penalty for previous stop.
Ron Kirk, our referee tonight. 15-yard pass interference call marked off from the line of scrimmage. It'll move it inside the 20, and we've reached the Brighton and Stratton College red zone. They'll spot it at the 17-yard line. A Best Electric Service first down.
Got a real mismatch on this right side. They've got a 6'8" receiver isolated on a 5'8" cornerback.
And you got Kowalski in under center here. Now they'll go to the I. They'll run it out of that I. Spellman, the tight end, taking the ball this time. Wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Noah Dodds right there again. Dodds has been a tackling machine. Over 60 tackles now this season.
12 a game. They say, you find the ball, you're going to see Noah Dodds right at that spot.
Gain of a couple right at the 15-yard line. There's a good look at Dodds. Again, they will use Teague Kowalski at quarterback here. A direct snap this time to the Hawk Denor. He took the direct snap, took it down to the 10. He'll be short of the first down. As we said, you're going to see a lot of gimmickry, a lot of gadget kind of plays tonight. It's all good if you can keep the football. I think that's the key tonight for Kettle Marine. Sustain the drives, come away with points.
Yeah, if Mukwonago doesn't have the ball, real advantage to the Lasers.
Again, they'll put Denor in the backfield along with Kowalski. Unbalanced to the left.
6'1", 285, a senior. Happens to be their heavyweight wrestler.
So 4th down. And it would appear the field goal unit coming on. You've got the two, so the drive ending with a kick and a good one, a 26-yard field goal. We'll take our break. You're watching the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Two heartfelt comedies are bringing family-fueled laughs and love to My 24 this fall. Navigate life in Lanford with the Connors at 6 and fall head over heels for Bob Hart's Abishola at 9. That's weeknights right here on My 24. With Mike McGivern and Terry Kelly, John Weiser, and our My 24 sports crew in Kettle Marine tonight. Kettle Marine High School, Lasers and Mukwonago tonight, 6-3 ball game. Imperative that Lasers get points off those drives.
That was a very important response, and the fact that, you know, Mukwonago missed that extra point, you look up at the scoreboard, gives you a little bit of, I think, confidence.
Try and kick it deep, or do they try and run it short? Our Liuna local 113 kickoff. Again, Jack Savasta, 2 touchdown returns so far this season. Now they switch up. Trying to confuse the kicking team here.
Hey guys, so listen to the offensive line coach, Kettle Marine. You know how much I love those guys. He's fired up. He said, boys, I told you we might be able to run the ball really well against these guys, communicate better, and taking care of and finishing these blocks. But offensive line coach Schiff, pretty happy right now.
From the 20, 1st and 10. Radabicki trying to go up the middle.
Powerful runner. Last year rushed for over 1,400 yards. Not only first team all-conference, got all-state mention as well.
Well, they've had a stable of running backs through the years. Win Stang comes to mind too. He had, 27 just across the 30-yard line. Now movement. Got back. Radabicki. Gain of 4 out to the 35-yard line, brought down by Tristan Seidel. Seidel, the defensive tackle, a junior. Very young up front at defensive 4 for Kettle Marine. 2 sophomore and 3 juniors. Trying to build for the future. 2nd and 6. They'll send twins here to the near side. It's Tanner Booth, along with Nick Martin, the split end. No run option. Kelly will keep it, trying to get the edge across. Out of bounds, short of the 45-yard line, but good enough for another first down.
Well, Mike Ganavok's not only the head coach, he's also the offensive line coach, and we really enjoyed watching him in action at practice this week. Nice banter back and forth with the kids, praising them for, good blocks, way to do it. And then if they did make a mistake, he had a way of kind of not making that criticism too sharp.
From the 45. It's Martin in motion. He'll take it on the jet sweep. Coming around the right side. Has some room across midfield and darts out of bounds near the 45-yard line of Kettle Marine. Jake Spellman ran him to the boundary that time for the Lasers.
One of those things you probably couldn't see is the offensive end in the back, right behind him in the backfield, is kind of cheated up. Call it an H-back, call it a mouse back. They're communicating.
Down. Again, that's been the key so far early on. Mukwonago staying ahead of the chains.
Right, and then, you've taken a first all-team conference performer, wide receiver. You've made him your core.
And Bester, the free safety, stepping up that time, making the stop.
Well, it's probably imperative that Bester plays that way. He's already off their basketball team. He was the defense player of the year on the basketball team. Excellent student over a 4.
In motion is Martin to the near side. They'll hand it off. Radabicki trying to get the edge and does. Breaks one tackle and couldn't quite step out of another, but will get the first down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 10 and a first down. Karan Walker there on the tackle. So 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Radabicki deep behind.
Opened that hole right up in the middle.
And that will take us to the end of our first quarter here at Kettle Marine High School. Culver's State. Mukwonago driving here as we begin quarter. Chance to play tonight. He's got 4 tackles already.
Yeah, it came up and filled really well on that play.
6-foot junior. Third down here. Again, he'll try that toss. Jet sweep trying to get the edge, and Martin has it just across the first down stripe. Ben Bester chasing him that time. Could be 5, taking down Jake Spellman on that block. That opened them up. It's a Best Electrics on the keep, not to be fooled. Was the defensive end Chase Schimpf angling in that time, able to step in and make the stop. One more look.
Well, last week throwing, we kidded Coach Ganevok. Air Ganevok? No, I don't think so, but 16 for 16, he had something in mind a week ago.
2nd and 14. A lot of shifting going on up front defensively, and there was movement. They'll get 5 of those yards back. Let's see. Got the defense to move. Saw all that stemming and changing up front, and then that
hard
count they were working on in practice this week. Well, Coach Ganevik was on the tight ends, not to move on those hard counts. He was betting that one of those guys was going to jump during practice. Radabicki on the toss, inside the 20 and then turned back about the 18-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd down here for Mukwonago. Patrick Rock.
Job of flowing to the ball as the game has gone on.
Inside the Brighton and Stratton College red zone. This season when a team gets inside their opponent's 20, entering Brighton and Stratton College red zone. Brighton and Stratton College, built different for you. Okay, good coverage by the Lasers. That forced Kelly to bring it down. Able to walk around Rock. And got past Spellman before he got chased by Schimpf, the defensive end, along with Bester. And slow him up, tracking him down, and then help on the way to clean up before he got it in the end zone. I think that was Denor.
Yeah, that's Martin's 3rd or
Kelly on the keep. Able to get around Spellman and into the end zone for a touchdown, Mukwonago. Steamfitter's 601 touchdown. This one from 3 yards out. Mason Kelly, the quarterback. Good job by Radabicki to finish off that block. Got Spellman to the turf. Set up that touchdown.
Yeah, as we watch them in practice this week, they really work hard on maintaining their blocks as they go upfield.
Saganek for the extra point. It is up, and this time it is good. Makes it a 10-point game as we head back to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I'm having fun here with Eric Stoltz, Iona Laborers, Local 113. Hey, listen, when we were talking before, you said, look, I like to talk to kids at this age because I'm not talking about a job. I'm talking about a career, and it's been a great move for you 6 years ago.
Oh, it's been more than a move for myself. It's been a move for my family, my friends. It's more than a job and a career. It's a community. You meet a lot of people that you actually entrust with yourself your entire life. This is more than a job. It's a community, and you would love. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. Nobody's not happy. It's like,
when we talked about the pride that you have of being part of that family is really hard. You know, just being able to say, look, we're working hard every day. We're making people's lives, and you love the work we're doing.
You know, with the hard gain pride. You know, like Kamala Harris and Tim. You find like a lot of the Democrats, like there's a lot of people behind us. Not just what you do.
Yeah.
You find everything within the community. Everything.
Hey, man, this guy's having a great time. It was so good for me to meet him. He loves what he does.
Mike, you're a good man.
You're a good man.
No, Mike's a good man.
Boys, back to you.
Always good. Nolan Roll will take it out across the 15, out near the 20-yard line on that kick return. Well, let's see what Kettle Marine can do. Second time with the football. Saw a lot of exotic formation and different type running plays. Get the offensive team huddled up here on the near sideline. Again, it's been you talk about changing things up for the week as far as what's going on here tonight, but how about the students this week and the faculty with the school on virtual learning
all week? They had a flooding problem because of some construction that had been done. The water got into the building, was coming up through the floors, the water fountains. So that's disruptive.
Scoring drive, 15 plays, 80 yards, 3-yard touchdown run by Mason Kelly. Our scoring summary brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. On first down, they'll toss it out to Teague, and he'll make a first man miss across midfield. Teague Kowalski brought down at the 35-yard line. 45-yard play. Noah Hebner and Jack Savasta finally get to him, but it's a 45-yard play and a first down for Kettle Marine.
Well, I think Kettle Marine employing, their regular formation a little bit more than we were led to believe. Cade Jersey has stayed at quarterback. We've seen Teague a couple times go to that Wildcat, but also you're able to see what an excellent athlete he is when he catches that ball.
Mason Von Thun had a chance to get to him. Couldn't wrap him up. Best Electric Service first down from the 35-yard line. This time Jersic will keep it. Has a seam inside the 30, and he is wrapped up hard. Savasta and Caden Green able to get in there and make the play. So we take a look. Got away with a face mask.
Missed that one. Well, Jersey, an excellent student. He's able to handle that. This time they put quads formation to the sideline, one wide receiver out to the wide side, and Cade himself is throwing 53 for 80 on the year, so he's capable of, I think, of running their regular offense.
They'll swing it out, complete the pass far side. Charlie Dunham, that's his first catch tonight, the split end. Cade Gunderson, the outside linebacker there, but they'll pick up the first down near the 20-yard line.
Quick passing attack. They feel that that's the way they have to go. They don't think that they're going to be able to just provide a well-protected pocket the whole time.
Put it down at the 22, 1st and 10 there. 7.5 minutes to go here in our first half. Two receivers aside, empty backfield here. Jersey fakes the run, tosses it near side. Jake Spellman, the tight end, inside the 15-yard line before he's brought down by Savasta. Jacob Spellman. See a lot of him tonight, both sides of the football.
Another quick throw. They got an excellent seal block on that outside, freed him up.
Gain of 8 on the play will set up a 2nd and 2.
Now the myriad of formations and schemes that Kettle Marine has been using has worked to their advantage.
Once again, they put Tristan Seidel in the backfield. They'll run the end around. Kowalski will keep it. Nowhere to go. Good job by the Mukwonago defense to stand him up at the line of scrimmage. I think it was Dykfuss and Gunderson who got there first.
Well, we've seen him put Hawk Denier as well as Tristan Seidel, two of their offensive linemen, in the backfield. Try to give them more of a power attack.
Hawk Denier in the backfield now, along with Seidel. Teague Kowalski. Well, direct snap to the big man. Denier fights his way forward, progress near the 10-yard line. He'll have the first down. Dykfuss and Dodds there. And it'll be 1st and goal just inside the 10 for the Lasers.
You know, one of the things that has been had a negative impact on Kettle Marine, they lost two of their best players, Dylan Ports, all-conference running back, and Tanik Wenkowski, a defensive back and wide receiver, both done for the year.
And they go with that quad formation here to the right side. Watch Kowalski. He is the single receiver here on the near side. Jersey looking his way into the corner of the end zone, broken up, but a flag is thrown. There was contact as both were going for the ball. It was Devin Viola battling Teague Kowalski that time. As we'll get another look.
6'4" against 6 feet, that advantage, something that Kettle Marine's trying to take advantage of.
So a half the distance penalty will move it to the 5. 1st and goal there for Kettle Marine. This time it's Kowalski under center. Denier in the backfield. He'll fake, he'll keep it, and get it in for the touchdown. Kowalski gets it in. That's his 3rd touchdown of the season. Again, that fake to the big guy, Denier. Everybody looking that way, and
well, he just followed Denier in there. It was a lead blocker for him.
he took 2 players out. Noah Dodds, the inside linebacker, which is tough to do. Just moved him off spot. They're short 1 on the special teams here. Timeout on the extra point here. They didn't have enough guys out on the field. They had to burn a timeout.
Coach McDonald works with the special teams. He saw the problem, immediately called timeout.
We'll take a break as well. Extra point pending here for Kettle Marine as they try to get back to within 3 on My 24. The team from NFL Network's Good Morning Football is huddling up to bring you special guests, the latest from around the league, and a whole lot of fun with GMFB Overtime. That's weekday mornings from 10 to noon on CW 18. Well, you hate to take a timeout on an extra point, but they were short 2, ran a couple of players on, weren't sure what they were going to do. So rather than risk it, they took the timeout. So an extra point here for Teague Kowalski. Jersey will hold, and it's blocked. 13-9 it remains. Oh, who got in there? Is it Devin Viola, I believe, who got a hand on it?
Viola, an excellent athlete in his own right. He went to state as both a freshman and a sophomore in the 300 intermediate hurdles.
But it's interesting. Kettle Marine has answered Mukwonago's scoring here tonight. Each
Right.
team with 2 drives, each team with points.
Well, as we were talking, we said, you know, they found a way to get some mismatches, some height against, you know, a little shorter defender, wide variety of formations. You know, and their confidence growing. That old line, the longer you let somebody stay in the game with you, the more problems you're going to have.
79-yard drive capped off by the Kowalski touchdown run. Our scoring summary brought to you by Carthage College. Country night, or as I was told coming up, country club. Take your pick. There's some of the gentlemen wearing the golf attire that more appropriate for caddy shack, perhaps.
I will have to check with our spotter, Sean Raffaelli. He's a member of a golf club. That old line, you know, do I want to belong to somebody that would take me as a member? And
Again, the Lasers have elected to kick it away. Savasta and Martin are the deep men here for Mukwonago. See what Kowalski does here. His last one was a touchback. This is going to be more difficult, kicking it into a pretty good breeze out of the north.
now Kowalski, a very busy young man this evening.
He will kick it away. It'll be Martin. He will take it from inside his own 5. Getting the edge to the inside here at the 35. And stacked up at the 41-yard line. 37-yard return. It was the kicker, Teague Kowalski, who finally wrestled him to the turf.
Good kick out block there on the outside.
So a good return. Again, this is a team averaging almost 40 yards a return on their kickoffs this year when they've had the opportunity. And what do we have here? Mukwonago taking a timeout. Well, coming up, we'll have our Wendy's halftime report tonight. We'll highlight this week's Russ Darrow Automotive Group Scholar Athlete nominee, and we'll meet a few of our sponsors. We'll also take a look at first half highlights. That's all coming up on the Wendy's halftime report. 5 minutes away from that. Coach Ganevak in the middle of that huddle, not happy.
Well, for years, Mukwonago has said we're going to run the ball. We might feature one back more than another. This year they have 2 backs. And all of a sudden that's been thwarted a little bit. So I'm sure there's some frustration there. He's not ready to revert to that passing attack, but I'm sure he's going to impress upon his players. We've got to get back to what we do well.
That's Matt McDonald, the head coach here at Kettle Marine High School.
Well, as you pointed out, very few teams can say they've defeated Mukwonago 2 years in a row, and Kettle Marine has indeed done that.
Mason Kelly has them set from the 41-yard line. In motion is Nick Martin. They fake the jet sweep. Kelly will keep it around the right side, and he'll be wrapped up across the 45-yard line. Ben Bester, the free safety. That's 5 tackles here in this first half for Bester. So we head downstairs to Mike.
So guys, on the sidelines, Kettle Marine, if they get a turnover, they get to put this on. I said, hey, do you mind if I take it, put it on for the TV shot? Young man said, it's really heavy, don't hurt your neck. I said, I'll try not to, boys. Back to you.
That looks like his regular jewelry when he's on the bench coaching in high school.
He has 2 of those at home.
Well, holding call here on this play, so they'll move the football back to the 31-yard line. Make it a 1st and 20. This time they'll give it to Radabicki around the left side. He'll get some of that back out across the 37-yard line. Noah Griswold in there on the stop. 5'8", 200-pound senior Radabicki. First team all-conference in the Classic 8 last season. Call it 2nd and 13. They'll spot it at the 38-yard line. They'll stack 2 receivers to the left side. Single back is Radabicki, a wing to the left. Run the option to Radabicki. Trying to get the edge, chase to the boundary, got back to the original line of scrimmage. Bring up a 3rd and long here for Mukwonago. Good job by Tristan Seidel to get him toward the boundary, and good flow to the football by the Laser defense that time. So 3rd and 9 facing Mukwonago here. Just under 4 minutes to play in our first half.
Well, important down here for the Lasers. If they can force a punt, get another shot at a score this first half.
Kelly looks to throw, dumps it out, incomplete, looking for Nick Martin. A little bit of pressure up there. Ben Bester was in coverage. Got rid of that rather quickly because of that pressure. And so we'll have our first punt of the ball game here. Ben Saganik, who does all of the kicking for the Indians. Punting, place kicking, field goals, he'll do it all. Good kick to the 20. Trying to get the edge here to the near side. Racing out of bounds across midfield is Karan Walker. Another nice return for the Lasers. Brought down on the play, Noah Dodds on special teams. So get another look at Karan Walker.
Karan Walker, a sprinter on the track team. You can see putting that speed to good use, getting down that sideline.
Starting corner on defense. We'll see some time at running back occasionally here on the Laser offense. Cade Jersey, junior quarterback in there. We'll go trips to the right. Kowalski single receiver here to the near side.
2 very tall receivers on the outside, either side.
And it's Grayson Lorch, the 6'8" receiver over that far side, and they swing it out to Charlie Dunham. And Dunham inside the 40 before he is ushered to the boundary. I believe it was Sam Diekfuss who was able to get him to the outside.
Well, Dom Capazza, the offensive coordinators, you know, they mentioned how they were going to, through quick passes, get to that outside.
It's actually Jack Savasta, free safety, who got him to the boundary that time. Actually tackled him inbounds, they say. So the clock will run. 2nd and 4. It's a pickoff. It is. Let's see. No, they're going to rule it incomplete. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage and fell right into Noah Dodd's hands. But as we take another look, it was Diekfuss who got the hand on it, and then it was knocked down, and the ball hit the turf.
Yeah, they weren't throwing it to the back. That was in the backfield. They were trying to hit Grayson Lorridge. Kind of an odd formation that way.
Clock stopped, 2:41 to play. 3rd and 4 for the Lasers at the Mukwonago 39-yard line. Little flea flicker reverse here. And it's the big man, Hawk Denor, breaking tackles inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. Caden Green finally got to him. Watch this trickery. Toss to the end, Walker, who gives it right back to Denor.
Well, Denor last year got honorable mention as a defensive player as a sophomore. You can see how they've employed a variety of formations, a number of different blocking schemes, and they're giving Mukwonago some real problems matching up.
Both big guys in there now, Seidel and Denor in the backfield. This time they will give it to Walker. Right side, inside the 15-yard line. We're in the Brighton and Stratton College red zone. Good job by the middle of that Mukwonago defense. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining here in the half. 2nd and 9 upcoming. T. Kowalski will step in now. He'll work in under center. 2 big guys in the backfield, Denor and Seidel again. It's a fake. Kowalski will keep it down to the 11-yard line. Dodds there in on the stop. He's been busy tonight. 5 tackles tonight for Noah Dodds.
Yeah, we mentioned him in the pregame taping about how, where you see the ball is where you're going to see Noah Dodds. Stayed at home that time.
Critical 3rd down here for the Lasers. Again, they will keep Seidel and Denor in the backfield along with Kowalski.
We got that Wildcat formation again.
The big guy, Denor, will take the direct snap inside the 10, works it down to the 8. Short of the 1st down. Evan Ginch and Connor Krieger both there. Actually, Krieger off the bottom of that pile.
A little bit of that spinner play we talked about early on that turns his back, fakes it. He can fake it, keep it himself, give it on that, get some hesitation by the defense.
You see how that blocked extra point making a difference here. They'll take the clock down here to about 3 seconds and take a timeout, but boy, if they had converted on that extra point, this would be to tie the game here, the final play of the first half.
Sure, Dom Capazzo, the offensive coordinator, trying to decide, all right, we've had some success powering the ball inside. Do we feel we can get the 4 yards, or are we going to use a little bit of trickery to try to get that touchdown right before half ends?
Well, what's critical here, if they can get points, they will get the football to start that 3rd quarter. It's almost like double dip.
I was going to say double dip.
But a great back and forth matchup here through the first half. Each team answering the other.
We saw Dave Adams defensive coordinator at practice going through, here's what they do in this formation, here's what we do here. You know, will the people read their keys, stay where they belong? Field goal.
They'll go for the field goal here. This will be a trick shot here, 26-yard into the wind for Teak Kowalski. Gets this one away, plenty of distance, and he misses wide. And he drove it, but just wide of the left upright. And so we head to the locker rooms here with Mukwonago on top by 4. 13-9 Indians. Stay tuned. We've got the Wendy's halftime report just around the corner here from Kettle Marine High School. 13-9 Mukwonago on the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. And welcome back to our Wendy's halftime report here on Mine 24. Kettle Marine and Mukwonago, the Indians leading it by a score of 13-9. Let's head into our highlight, our Scholar Athlete nominee, brought to you by the Russ Darrow Automotive Group. From Mukwonago High School tonight, our nominee is Ella Schuler. Ella competes in wrestling, track, soccer, and gymnastics. She carries a 3.455 GPA. She is an all MHS Scholar Athlete, has qualified for state 2 times in wrestling. She's a state champion in the 4x100 in track in 2024 and has finished in the top 5 at state the last 2 years in the triple jump. Ella is a member of DECA, scoring a perfect score in her case study in 2024. Mukwonago AD Andy Trudel says Ella is an incredible athlete, but an even better young lady. Congratulations to Ella and this week's Scholar Athlete nominee. Our weekly nominees will be in the running to receive a $5,000 scholarship brought to you by the great folks at Russ Darrow Automotive Group. Discover the Darrow difference. Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm here with Anthony Stewart, United States Coast Guard. He's from Alabama. He told me I had to say Roll Tide as we started talking. You love the fact that you're part of the Coast Guard, but what you had talked to me is the leadership skills that you have learned as being part of this group.
Yes, I learned a lot of leadership skills. Before joining the Coast Guard, I was not a leader at all, didn't know how to lead. But joining the Coast Guard, being around a lot of leaders, I was able to get a lot of good knowledge and learn how to lead people.
You know, when we talked about your family and how proud they are of you being part of the Coast Guard, and I said, look, have you always been a good swimmer? You started laughing and said, no, they taught me how to swim.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to swim joining the Coast Guard. Joining the Coast Guard, I learned how to swim, and yeah, we're really good instructors. You really can't beat it. Can't beat that.
Anthony, what's cool about this is when you're done, whatever that is, you had said to me, you don't think there's anything you're not ready for.
There's nothing I'm not ready for. I think I can do anything. After I joined the Coast Guard, I got a lot of knowledge. I feel like I can do anything.
Hey, when I asked him if I told a 17-year-old Anthony, if I told him he's going to be part of the Coast Guard, he would have sat out and laughed and you said no chance. But the best decision I ever made was to be part of the Coast Guard. Thanks for your time. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
You heard me say Roll Tide, right?
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
There you go, boys. Back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. Our Wendy's halftime report coming to you from Kettle Marine High School tonight, where Mukwonago leads the Lasers by a score of 13-9. Back with more after this on My 24. Wendy's halftime report continues here at Kettle Marine High School. Time now for our United States Army interview, and here is Mike.
Hey guys, I'm here with Staff Sergeant Jordan Hartley, U.S. Army. I asked Jordan, so tell me about the decision to join the Army 16 years ago. And he used the word adventure, and I wanted to kind of talk about that. It's been a good adventure. A boy from Arkansas, by the way, been a great adventure for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, it has. I'm very proud of what I've been able to do and the places I've been able to go and things I've been able to see while I've been in the Army.
Jordan, can we talk about some of the places that you have been and you've lived?
Yeah, of course. So my first duty station was in Fort Benning, Georgia. While I was there, I actually got to go to Iraq twice, which is something that I wanted to do as a young child. After that, I actually got the chance to live in South Korea for a few years. And between then and now, I've actually had the opportunity to travel a lot. I've been to Canada, Hawaii, Romania, Germany, Ireland. I've been all over the world compared to the very small town in Arkansas where I grew up. I never thought that I'd be able to see some of the things that I saw.
Hey, and I asked this to a lot of guys, but your family's really proud of the work that the service that you've given our country.
Oh, yes, sir, yeah. My grandpa was in the Army. On my mom's side, my grandpa on my dad's side was in the Army. Military family through and through, and whenever I made the decision to join, it was a very proud moment and something that I will always look back on.
He's Jordan Hartley from Arkansas, and he's got that servant leadership heart where he's just giving back and serving our country. Thank you for your service.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, you bet. It's good to see you. Back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you very much. Time now to take a look at some great moments from across the country on Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Day to throw. He's going to hurl it deep downfield, and that ball is hauled in. What a catch by Javian Robinson.
Cam Wade with a cut inside the 40. Wade down the sideline. Wade is gone. Cam Wade, this one from 57 yards.
To evade the rush, throws it, end zone jump ball. What a catch! Touchdown! Sam Donovan climbs the ladder and comes down with it.
That was a little bit errant. It's one-on-one. He's got him.
Got him again.
He went up and caught it. What
Great
a
catch. Great catch.
Get a number on that man. Is that 19? That sophomore. Strike up the Fairfield Central folk song to Aquarius Shannon. 6'1", 180, a 10th grader, folks.
Guy, he's a power lifter guy. A lot of their offense and one block kick deserves another, right? Still loose. Alamo Heights has it, but still not out of bounds. We can get a couple of points here. Another pitch, and they've got room. Miracle on the Mississippi. You got to be kidding me. It's Max Bacon.
Some great action from across the country. Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals. Let's head downstairs. Let's see, are we ready for? Nope. We're going to take a. Oh, we're going to do the Brighton and Stratton interview. My bad. Earlier this week, Mike had a chance to sit down with our Brighton and Stratton College athletics.
Hey guys, thank you. I'm here with Chuck Ruffing. He is the head men's basketball coach here at Brighton and Stratton College. 23-10 year one. Back for year two. Congratulations, Coach. Hey, you're coming back for year two, feeling pretty good about what you've got coming back?
For sure. We got a really good group of guys that are coming in. We had a lot of success year one, and we're looking to just build on that year two.
Hey, Coach, when you talk to kids at this age at the high school level, all over the state, what do you tell them why they should be coming to become a Bobcat?
Well, first and foremost, we're an extremely competitive program in the junior college scene, so we're going to try to compete nationally this year like we did last year. We had a couple weeks where we're receiving votes, and so we're hoping to crack the top 20 this year. But on top of that, you got an opportunity to get a great education. You're going to be on really good people, professors, administration, you name it, really, really good people that are going to care about you.
Coach, year two is different than year one. I'm sure the template has been set. Good luck in year two, and keep up the good work. Doing a great job here at Brighton Stratton.
I appreciate it very much, Mike. We're gonna do what we can.
Not bad for a boy from De Pere. Boys, back to you up in the booth.
Big thanks to Brighton and Stratton College jumping on board again this year for Friday night rivals. We'll take our break, come back with more of our Wendy's halftime report here from Kettle Marine High School. Mukwonago on top, 13-9 on my 24. Back at Kettle Marine High School, our Wendy's halftime report tonight. Classic 8 matchup between Mukwonago and the Lasers, 13-9 in favor of Mukwonago. Let's head back downstairs to Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I'm here with Ethan Kelly. He's an apprentice of our Steamfitters Local 601. He's a Mukwonago grad, so we know who he's rooting for in this game. 4 years in, 2 years left. Talk to me a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Our day-to-day as a steam fitter, you're going around to different customers, dealing with their heating cooling issues, sometimes their process stuff at factories. You're doing a lot of people interaction, customer interaction. It's a different scene every day that you get to go to, so it's a really interesting, fun, fast-paced job.
Ethan, so you were a welder before. This is totally different. Really happy with the decision you made to be a steam fitter?
Yeah, I'm very happy with this decision. It's every day is a new adventure for us pretty much, so it's enjoyable.
Yeah. So he's got a couple years left, and then I'll tell you what, when he's done, the world is your oyster, right?
Yeah, it's for people that don't want to go to college, this is a great route to go. You have 5 years of schooling, 2.5 years of it is you're going to college 1 day a week, and you're at working the other 4 days a week. You're getting paid to go to school. You graduate with a 6-figure job, and you're no student debt.
Yeah, you're set then. You're set. Man, it's good to meet you. I appreciate your time. Good luck with this next 2 years. Get it done. All right, see you later, Ethan. Thank you. Boys, back to you.
Again, Steamfitters 601, our touchdown sponsors this year. Steamfitters Local 601, your future starts now. Well, now we take a look at some highlights tonight from our first half, and we've had some touchdowns. These are brought to you by Carthage College. And early on, the jet sweep.
Nick Martin, the wide receiver, getting that, kind of breaking their mold, their pattern of who gets the ball.
And it's Radabicki.
Got up that sideline, turned on the speed, and he was gone.
Extra point was missed, 6-0 at that point, but Kettle Marine responded in a big way. Charlie Dunham with a big catch, and then Teague Kowalski with the field goal. That cut the deficit in half, 6-3. But Mukwonago still hunting for that end zone, and Kelly here, Mason Kelly, the quarterback, will take it in for his touchdown of the game. But then right back comes Teague Kowalski. 45-yard pickup on this pass reception.
Yeah, T. Kowalski, just such an important cog here on the offense for the Lasers. Follows his lineman right through the middle of the Mukwonago line.
Extra point was blocked. That's where we stand, 13-9. Our highlights brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. And Mike's downstairs with a member of the admissions team from Carthage.
Hey guys, I'm here with Raphael, and he's Carthage College, and I told him nobody ever brings props to this interview, but he brought some props. Let's talk about some new programs going on at Carthage.
Yeah, so we just added part of our allied health science, nuclear medicine, sonography, radiation therapy, and radiography. So we're very excited for those opportunities for our students.
Man, what a great opportunity for people that go to Carthage. Hey, you recruit the Milwaukee area, and you got to be really, really busy.
Yeah, so we are in our busiest part of the season right now. So we're doing high school visits, college fairs all throughout the areas. So if you're looking for information, we're here for you. So we have a QR code you can definitely scan, and please let us know what you want to find out.
Hey, when I talk to Raphael, I'm telling you, nobody more excited about showcasing Carthage College than he is. He loves everything going on there. The vibe is awesome. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
All right, boys, back to you.
He does carry that vibe. I'll tell you what, he is great at what he does. Carthage College, we thank them sponsoring our highlights again this season. 13-9, Mukwonago on top of Kettle Marine. Second half just around the corner. We'll have it for you next. This is the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Third quarter action about to begin here at Culver's Stadium, Kettle Marine High School, and there's some of the stats from that first half, and fairly even across the board.
Well, as coaches, you know, you always tell your players you've got to make sure you don't take anything for granted. Now, I don't think the Mukwonago coaches were taking anything for granted, but sometimes your players look at comparative scores. Sometimes the team on the opposite side of that situation said, we don't care what the comparative scores say, we know what we can do. And so as a result, very tight game right now. And I'm sure both coaches, staffs really at halftime try to say, okay, here's what they did well, how are we going to take that away? Here's what you've got to do on this side of the ball. So it'll be a real interesting matchup, see who moves the chess pieces best.
I think Mukwonago defensively has to figure out that power formation with the two big linemen in there, trying to figure out who's going to get the ball and who's going to be the lead blocker.
Right, and not only, you know, that power formation, because you wonder if, you know, just T. Kowalski going to take that? And then the quick passes to the outside. Kay Jersey has, you know, put Mukwonago a little bit on its heels. You've got to come up and make the tackle, and those mismatches in size, 6'4", 6'8", going against shorter defensive backs. And hats off to Kettle Marine. They've really planned well.
Lasers will get the football to begin this second half. Quick word downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Yeah. Here we go. Hey guys, so I'm here with Samantha, and she's telling me her story, which is great. She's a sophomore. She's the head student manager here. Tell me why you're doing that.
I have an older brother, and I aspire to see him accomplish his dreams as playing D1 college and football and maybe possibly going to the NFL, and I just want to be a part of it.
She's a big-time soccer player. How's the soccer program here?
Soccer program's been doing pretty good. We're held to high expectations here, so we just like to meet the standards.
So I'm really good friends with Karina. She does get you in the weight room and strength and conditioning for the girls soccer program. So what position you play?
I'm a striker.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's what I'd be if I was in soccer. What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it, Samantha. Thank you. Boys, back to you. She's doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, set to begin the second half. Nolan Roll and Karan Walker, the deep men to receive here for Kettle Marine. Ben Saganik does all the place kicking for Mukwonago. Lyuna, 113 kickoff. Will go to Walker inside his own 5. Races up to the 20 and is flattened at the 20-yard line. Noah Hebner throwing his weight around there. One more look. Says he got to the, trying to get to the outside, and Hebner said, not so fast.
No other starting strong safety for the Indians.
Well, let's see what Kettle Marine opens up with. They'll send it T. Kowalski wide to the left. Their other big man, Grayson Lorich, they have not thrown to him tonight. 7 catches on the season through the first 5 games.
Yeah, they tried hitting him on that one quick, you know, out formation to the outside and kind of off tilter.
Spread him out on the quad formation, and Jersey will keep it out to the 28. Jack Savasta, the free safety, in on that stop. 7 tackles tonight for Savasta.
Well, that formation showed the Kettle Marine, you know, philosophy. Let's spread them way wide, create some open space for our runners.
This opens up the playbook. You're ahead of the chains here. It's 2nd and short. See what they want to try and do here. They put the big men back in there. Hawk Denor and Tristan Seidel. A couple of offensive linemen in the backfield here. Give it to Walker, trying to get around the left side. Breaks a tackle. Second effort to the 30. Who should have a first down. Devin Viola, corner on that far side, able to track him down. Actually just a little bit shy of the 31-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and inches.
Tried to get to that left side of the formation that time where they've got Braden Thompson, 6'8", 320 pounds, committed to Colorado State.
Might be playing Pac-12 football. Colorado State set to join that league, leaving the Mountain West. Direct snap to the big man. That is Denor, and he'll get the first down out across the 33-yard line. Siskevich, Hunter Siskevich, the nose tackle, able to drag him down, but that was a direct snap to Denor for the Best Electric Service first down.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the second half. You've got Hawk Denor playing in the backfield, on the offensive line, on the defensive line. Seidel on the offensive line, sometimes in the backfield. Will that start to take a toll?
Fake to Walker. Kowalski will keep it. They'll get it across the line of scrimmage for a couple. At the bottom of that pile is Sam Diekfus, defensive end. That's 5 tackles on the night for Diekfus. Gain of 3, so 2nd and 7 upcoming. Opening drive here to begin this second half. Kettle Marine trailing by 4. And Lorich split to the near side. Kowalski to the far side. Jurczyk back in at quarterback. Trips over that left side. They'll throw it behind the line to Dunham. It's a block outside by Kowalski. And he gets it across the first down marker, just shy of the 45. They'll move the chains. Connor Krieger got him to the boundary.
Well, we've mentioned before how they're getting that pass out quickly. One of the things to keep in mind when you've got someone like Teague Kowalski who you can put out wide, he can also throw the ball. That possibility of a double pass at that critical juncture could come into play.
Chase Schimpf in there now as a tight end for Kettle Marine. 1st and 10 from their own 44. This is Kai Rigo. That's his first carry tonight. Noah Dodds, the linebacker, there to make the stop. Gain of 1.
Yeah, Rigo on the season, one of their leading rushers. But apparently tonight, you know, the coaching staff said we're going to get a couple of our bigger, bulkier guys in carrying that ball.
He will step out. Karan Walker in for Rigo. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 upcoming. And it's Kowalski. He'll take the snap. He'll get across the line of scrimmage for 2. Good play that time by Cade Gunderson here to make the stop. Now you've got a 3rd and long situation here for the Lasers.
That last play, Mukwonago kind of loaded the box, anticipating a run. Now it'll be interesting to see. Once again, we talk about the game of chess going on between the coordinators. You know, who's got what planned.
Seidel and Denor in the backfield. Kowalski in the Wildcat. Walker on a wing to the right side. He's in motion. They'll fake to Walker. And once again, the middle of that Mukwonago defense right there for a minimal gain. It'll bring up 4th down from midfield. Gunderson saying that ball came loose, but we'll take another look.
Okay, Kettle Marine coaching staff considering its options right now on 4th down.
4th at midfield. And they're going to go for it here. Rolling the dice, Matt McDonald.
Okay, they shift Braden Thompson to that left side this time, the big tackle. Okay, quick kick
Kowalski drops a little deeper. He will kick it away. Gets off a nice punt. Bounces at the 5, but finds its way into the end zone. 51-yard punt. So the touchback will move it out to the 20-yard line. Our closed captioning tonight brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Oh, when you've got an athlete like Teague Kowalski, there's so many ways you can utilize his skills. I'm sure he'd like to have that kick back and have it go out inside the 10.
So Mukwonago, their first touch of the second half. From their own 20, Mason Kelly has them lined up. Again, Martin in motion. They'll give it to Radabicki. Tries the right side for a couple. Laser defense stiffens there. Bryce Schmitz in there at a defensive tackle position, 5'10" senior. Rotates in there with Tristan Seidel on that defensive line. Gain of 4, so 2nd and 6, midway through our third quarter. Again, Martin in motion. Again, Radabicki. Right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Hawk Denor. Getting some help also from Schmitz. So now it sets up a 3rd and 4 for the Indians at their own 26-yard line.
Denor have been a steady force on defense for the Lasers. So far in the year, he's got 16 tackles for loss, forced fumble, and even an interception.
2 receivers to the right, single back. Quarterback draw by Mason Kelly. Bounces to the outside, will get the first down across the 31-yard line. Schmitz and Denor again on the stop. It'll be enough for a Best Electric Service first down.
Looked that time like Coach Matt McDonald was trying to run to get the officials' attention and call a timeout.
Didn't get it in time, so 6-yard gain and a first down. Mason Kelly, a captain on this Mukwonago team this year, has Radabicki in the backfield. Martin in motion. They fake the jet sweep, toss the right side to Radabicki across the 35. Like Noah Griswold in on that stop. 6 tackles tonight for Griswold.
Kind of a crucial drive here for the Indians. Lasers ran almost 6 minutes off the clock in this third quarter. Once again, what we mentioned earlier, the longer you let a team stay with you, more things can turn out as opposite of what you planned.
Second and 7 from the 35. Mason, or Martin, I should say, will walk out here the near side. And Vogue's in now as a wing on the near side. He'll go in motion. And now penalty marker down. Did somebody jump along that line?
Kettle Marine, as that motion man went. One of the Kettle Marine. Oh, they're going to call false start on Mukwonago possibly.
It's a snap infraction, so perhaps the center waggled that ball just a little bit. And again, as a lineman, what are you taught? You look at the football.
When the ball moves, you move.
Yep. Second and long now, 2nd and 12. Radabicki has some running room left side. Radabicki across midfield and out of bounds just across the 45-yard line with a penalty marker in his wake.
Not only did the Mukwonago guy do that mortal sin of throwing up his arms to indicate I didn't do anything, he did actually hold. So 2 parts there.
Officials will sort this out. It's a spot foul penalty, so trying to get that. Here's Ron Kirk with the call. Tanner Booth, the flanker and captain on this team, guilty of that hold. Yeah, you saw the arms come up and not me. They got him. We'll take another look. Yep, right there. The right hand came up, says, I'm not holding. Toss sweep. Martin accelerates across the hash mark, gets to midfield, gets the first down. Out to the 49-yard line, a 15-yard pickup. Jake Spellman, inside linebacker with the tackle.
Mukwonago's got some team speed. Mason Kelly, Mason Radabicki, and Jack Savasta are all part of their school record-holding 4x100 relay team. They put that speed to good use a couple times this evening.
Yeah, that jet motion, and then about 3 or 4 times now they've gone with that jet sweep. From their own 49, 1st and 10, Mukwonago. Radabicki up the middle. He'll get 5. Spellman again in on the stop.
Ben Contreras, the left guard, helping to lead that play. Honorable mention, all-conference performer a year ago. You got Aaron Dvorak at the tackle, Henry Degenhardt at the center, Brody Langer at the guard, and Mason Voss, a 6'2", 285-pounder, at the other tackle.
Gain of 6, 2nd down 4. At the laser 45. This time they fake, looking to pass. Mason Kelly being flushed out of the pocket. He'll cut it upfield. Ron Walker finally got him to the chalk.
Kelly showing that track speed that we mentioned just a second ago.
Yep, Schimpf trying to get to him. He was able to get around the edge. Up to the next level, and Walker stops the clock with 1:55 to go here in the 3rd. Another Best Electric Service first down. And this drive started at their own 20. Now move to the laser 35. And Martin in motion, they fake. Mason Kelly again on the run. Throws it out of bounds. Made the line of scrimmage, so it'll go as an incomplete pass, just throwing that one away.
Could be a situation as we move through this quarter that each team gets 1 possession in the 3rd quarter. You have to capitalize when you've got the opportunity.
Clock stops, minute 48 to go here in the 3rd. 2nd and 10, one of the few times tonight Mukwonago has been behind on the chains here. They'll stack 2 receivers to the right.
See a subtle little shift by Mukwonago. They now have 3 offensive linemen on the right side of this formation.
Again, movement up front. Toss to Radabicki around the right side, inside the 30 and out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Little option here. Able to get around Hawk Denor. First down at the 24-yard line. Mike Ganevik, the head coach for Mukwonago. He is active in practice. He is in and out of those different drills, and he was working the offensive lineman on the board drill when we were there.
Yeah.
They lay those planks down and keep your legs inside those boards as you try and drive your defender off.
Loving what he's doing, and that's the important part of this.
Radabicki right side. Stood up at the 20. Moving the pile forward down to the 16-yard line is Radabicki. Spellman, Denor, and a host of lasers finally got him down. A gain of 8 on the play.
Have to see if what we mentioned a little earlier with Hawk Denor and Tristan Seidel also getting time in the backfield, plus Hawk Denor playing on defense wears you down.
Stay tuned later in the game for our Protect, Defend, Save play of the game, brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. Inside the Brighton and Stratton College red zone, 2nd down and 2. Radabicki right side, lowers the shoulder inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal Indians. Karan Walker making the stop. He's had a good night defensively. 5 tackles on the night for Walker.
Well, that time Kettle Marine tried shooting a linebacker, but he got blocked away in the wash as they caved everything in. Radabicki went off to the right side.
Well over 100 yards tonight, Radabicki. 44-yard touchdown run. He's now 149 and counting. 1st and goal, Indians. Fake the jet sweep. They'll run the vacated side with Mason Kelly, the quarterback, down to the 4.
Yeah, naked keep there. Didn't pull anybody or anything. Just hoped that by formation they'd outflank him.
Chase Schimpf not fooled. And that will end our 3rd quarter. As you said, Coach, each team with only 1 possession here in this 3rd quarter in this chess match of a Classic 8 confrontation. 13-9 Mukwonago, but the Indians inside the 5 when we return for the 4th. Our Friday night rivals on My 24. 2nd and goal for Mukwonago to start this fourth quarter. Radabicki into the end zone. Steamfitters 601 touchdown for Mukwonago. Nothing fancy, just up the middle, A-gap run.
Little cross block at the point of attack. Critical for Mukwonago to get that. You can't have used all that time and not come away with a touchdown.
A 13-play drive going 80 yards, just methodically down the field. Saganic for the extra point. Good snap by Luca Tess. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm here with Taylor Nelson, Roofers and Waterproofers, Local 65. Taylor, it's good to meet you. You guys do roofing for some of the biggest buildings in this area.
That's correct. We do a lot of large commercial roofing projects all over southeastern Wisconsin. Projects like Fiserv Forum, AmFam Field, and whatnot like that.
Taylor, you're in the office now, and I asked you, hey, do you miss being out of the job? You said absolutely.
I really do. I miss the camaraderie, working with the guys on the roof every day. You know, it's fun it's hard work, but at the end of the day, you get to look back and see something you accomplished.
You know, so when you talk about being prideful, right, I'm proud of the job we just did. You guys have a lot of that going on.
Yeah, it's great to be able to drive around the city and be able to point the jobs that you were a part of.
Taylor, it's nice to meet you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, hey, back in the office, easier on your body, right?
It certainly is, yeah, most definitely easier on the body.
No doubt. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. So Mukwonago takes a 2-score lead here early in the fourth. Saganic to kick it away. This will drift into the end zone for the touchback. So does this take Kettle Marine out of that methodical run?
It'll be interesting to see what their philosophy is with just under 12 minutes, you know.
We will see. Stay tuned. Following our game, we'll have the presentation of the Champions Trophy. That's brought to you by Marquette University. Be the difference. Here's Coach McConnell, the camouflage hoodie. And this is a team that won a state title in 2022, made it to level 3 last year, falling to eventual state champion Lake Geneva Badger.
Right, and you know, 2 years of really outstanding players.
Cersei at quarterback. Trying to get to the right side. On the carry was Kai Rigo. Jersey handing it off. Digfuss and Savasta there on the stop. 5-yard pickup on first down. Only the second time Rigo has carried the ball tonight.
Right.
Ben Bester in now offensively as a flanker.
All right, they've got that trips formation again with Kowalski out there. Kowalski.
They'll throw it out that way. Catch is made and out of bounds. Charlie Dunham with the reception. Gunderson takes him across the chalk. It'll be enough for a Best Electric Service first down for the Lasers. One more look. Those quick passes to the edge.
Once again, we'll mention that idea of if you've got Kowalski out there, the possibility of a double pass.
The lineup nearest to you on the screen here in this trips formation. Empty backfield. Jersic going to throw it back that way. Coming back, Dunham making a diving catch at the 37-yard line. Came back to that football. believe it was Viola in coverage there for Mukwonago. Bunch 3 receivers in that quad formation. They'll run out of it. Not much there for Cade Jersey.
Now this very easily could be 4 down territory for Kettle Marine.
Jersey will stay in there. We'll have large split out to the right side. Single receiver here near side is T. Kowalski.
Yeah, they love getting him isolated.
He's on Devin Viola. 5-inch height advantage there.
Mukwonago giving the outside receivers a lot of.
Jursic with some room across midfield. Cade Jersey. Touchdown, Kettle Marine.
Going for 2.
61 yards for the Steamfitters 601 touchdown. And they'll go for 2.
Go for 2. It gets them a chance then to get a field goal, can tie it.
Jersey, his 2nd touchdown rushing this year. Goes for 61.
Once again, they've got a short a player on the extra point team.
For the 2nd time tonight, they had to burn a timeout on an extra point attempt. Let's head back downstairs. Here's Mike McGivern.
So, guys, Captain America's back. I love that. Major Nathan Blackwell, U.S. Marines. That nickname is stuck, and I love that. Hey, how is your recruiting business? You guys doing pretty well?
Yeah, we're doing really well. We've made a really good comeback, doing really, really well.
Hey, let's talk a little bit, and again, I get to talk to your recruiters all the time, but for you, when you talk to them about talking to kids this age, what do you tell them?
So just be genuine. It's not for everybody. Only 1 out of every 10 kids is basically qualified anyway. And we really focus on making sure that it's the right fit for the individual we're looking at.
You know what I love? When we talk to leaders on the high school, guys that win the U.S. Marine thing, they're always talking about thanking everybody else like you guys do.
That's right. There's no I in team, and we're all about that, same way a football team is.
Excellent. Boys, back to you.
Direct snap to Denor for the 2-point conversion. Hawk Denor, been in that backfield tonight. Originally a left tackle. They've used him at running back, ran right behind the big man, Braden Thompson.
Well, that gets them within a field goal to tie.
Makes it very interesting here for the final 9.5 minutes. Knowing that Germantown took down Muskego tonight, get this, 3-0.
And Arrowhead was trailing
Oconomowoc. Yep.
Next week, Mukwonago plays Oconomowoc, and Kettle Marine plays Muskego.
Don't forget, we have our player of the game coming up after our ball game tonight, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. That's a U.S. Marine player of the game presentation following our ball game. Yeah, the crossover game. Again, only 7 teams in the Classic 8.
Yeah.
So you've got the crossover tonight with Muskego going over to play Germantown, and Germantown prevails.
Yeah, and one of the things that happened was the WIA shuffled things. We've got the Greater Metro with 7 teams, so good teams from 2 very good conferences get stuck in a crossover. In the case of Mukwonago, they'll play Marquette the last game of the season, which counts in conference standings.
Huh. That's a playoff game in itself. Marquette and Mukwonago. And that could be a matchup level 1. Who knows? Our Leuna Local 113 kickoff. It's going to be an onside attempt. And Luca Tess covers it up for Mukwonago. Great job by the junior tight end. Working on that in practice this week as well.
You know, probably a situation where you can understand why Kettle Marine did what it did, trying to get advantage early, not as a desperation move, see if they can get them by surprise. Now, how does Mukwonago respond to this challenge? Are they able to now run clock?
That's the enemy right now for Kettle Moraine. They need to get that football back. Mason Kelly. They put it up, I think, 3 times tonight. And now a flag before the snap.
Mukwonago that time had 2 tight ends in. One of the things we saw in practice that I think you mentioned earlier is Coach Kanivak was betting one of his wide receivers would jump, but one of the tight ends did as they were in practice. And he had a few comments that he wanted to share with the players after that.
First and 15. Back to the 42-yard line. Toss sweep again. It's Martin. Nick Martin. He's been busy on that formation. Tristan Seidel brought him down. Got those 5 yards back.
Yeah, Martin coming into the game was their leading pass receiver with 21 catches on the season. Once again, maybe trying to goof up what you think are the tendencies.
2nd and 10. Just across the 47-yard line. Radabicki, big hole up the middle. Brought down by the shoelace that time by Hawk Denor.
Now Kettle Marine bringing Braden Thompson, that 6'8", 320-pound tackle in, try to shore up that middle. Got him side by side with Tristan Seidel. You got Hawk Denor.
Big play here, 8.5 minutes to go. 3rd and 4. Walking up pressure. They'll run the option. Toss to Radabicki. He'll get out of bounds. Should have enough for the first down. And they'll move the sticks. Karan Walker on the stop. Little speed option that time.
Well, 2 of the members of that relay team working together that time. And when you think about Mason Kelly, you know, here you are, a wide receiver. Suddenly you're a quarterback. You're going to try to direct the offense. You're going to start to throw it. You're going to run the option. Kind of a testament to his ability as an athlete.
Best Electric Service first down at the Laser 42-yard line. Again, Mason Kelly picking his way around the left side, trying to get the edge. Gets around Nolan Roll. Out of bounds near the 30-yard line. 12-yard pickup by the quarterback, Mason Kelly.
Well, they have switched up their tendencies a little bit on the season coming in. Kelly had 49 rushes. Radabicki, 103. They've been able to work in Nick Martin quite a few times, so spreading the ball around.
Hats off to Henry Degenhart, the center, pulling that time. Got the hook block on the edge that opened up the space for Kelly. Radabicki banging his way forward inside the 30-yard line. Jake Spellman there. Now Mukwonago's got to start milking the clock here a little bit.
Yeah, Mukwonago, you know, want to stay ahead of the chains. They're not in a rush to get into the huddle and get out. But you don't want to slow up your rhythm too much. That can come back to bite you.
That is the fine line. Back judge has his hand in the air, so play clock down. This is Kelly. Sidesteps one tackle. Mason Kelly gets the first down into the Brighton and Stratton College red zone. I believe it was Noah Griswold in there. One more look. Yep, it was Griswold who finished him off.
Kelly that time got up a little bit slowly there. See if the wind got taken out of him a little bit as he landed.
Inside the Brighton and Stratton College red zone. 1st and 10, Mukwonago. 3-point lead. Chance to go up 2 scores here if they can get it in the end zone. Radabicki swerving his way through the 10. Slicing and dicing inside the 5. Touchdown, Mukwonago. Second touchdown run tonight by Radabicki. And that was all 5'8", 200-pound senior. Not to be denied.
You can see those linemen riding that wave.
Clutch performance by Radabicki to get it in. Makes it a 2-score game with the extra point pending. Saganic's kick is up, and it is good. 27-17, Mukwonago. We will step out. Hang around. This is getting rather interesting. Not done yet. This is the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. The chase for championships has begun as the NASCAR Xfinity Series starts its engines on its new home, the CW. Hit the track as the adrenaline-fueled playoffs feel the need for speed during CW Sports Saturdays on CW 18. Well, Mukwonago able to answer. Back up by 2 scores on the touchdown run by Mason Radabicki. We talk about his power. We'll talk about it after this kickoff here by Saganic. Taken at the 1. And across the 15, shy of the 20-yard line on the return. Roll that time. Brought down by Sam Diekfuss. Power running. Mukwonago does something on Sundays that is kind of unique, and it's called Climb the Hill.
It's become their motto. They started doing it during the summer. They go out, the whole team, for somewhere about between 35, 45 minutes. They run a hill. Coach Ganevak also coaches track. I know he and I talked about, it's a great workout for track, is you drive up a hill. If you use proper form, develop tremendous power, leg drive, knee lift.
Quads to the right, empty backfield. Jersey gonna throw. Over the middle, complete to Spellman, the tight end. And Spellman is spilled at midfield. Noah Hebner, along with Noah Dodds, tripped him up. A gain of 30 and a first down.
Now, Coach McDonald has got to be very pleased with how his team has responded throughout this game.
And again, going back, it's been a difficult week. They've had online classes, virtual learning all week because of a flooding problem in the buildings, so the kids have not been on campus except to come to practice. Again, they'll go over the middle. Spellman with a beautiful catch with a defender draped over his back down to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, 2 in a row. That time, Mukwonago was only rushing 3.
There's a flag at the line of scrimmage as we take another look. Now again, did we have maybe a lineman in the backfield? We talk about those exotic formations. Offensive pass interference on Grayson Lorich. Again, that's one of those where you're going out to block, but you're not really going to extend the hands because that's
right
outside that 5-yard containment zone. That's going to be a penalty.
Once that ball's in the air.
This takes away the big gain, 1st and 25. Kowalski in motion. Jersey lost the football. It's loose. Recovered by Mukwonago. Evan Ginch falls on it for the Indians. One more look. Jersey just had it slip out of his hand.
Yeah, Sam Diffus put some pressure on him.
The turnover, the first one of the night by either team. And Mukwonago gets it right back at the Laser 21-yard line. Radabicki in as a running back. 2 receivers to the right. Martin in motion. Radabicki picks his way around the left side inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line inside the Brighton and Stratton College red zone. Tristan Seidel with the tackle. Well, the goal here now for the Lasers, keep them out of the end zone. Try and hold them, if not getting the ball back, at least hold them to a field goal attempt here. 2nd and 6. Taking as much time as they can. Radabicki riding the left side. Wrestles his way down close to a first down. I think he's going to be just a little short. Brought down by Patrick Rock for the Lasers. Sets up a 3rd and less than 1.
Time they got a tremendous push on the left side of that offensive line with Dvorak and Contreras.
And they've got Thompson in on that defensive line in the middle for the Lasers. Radabicki. Close. Don't know if that spin move got him. Did not. Official signaling 4th down. Good job by the Laser defense. Denor and Yitri both there.
Yeah, Huck Denor got across that line of scrimmage.
Yep. Well.
Interesting call here.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure they're going to let the clock run down to maybe with 1 second left. Call a timeout. You know, you've missed an extra point tonight. How much does that figure into your head about trying field goal? You don't want to have it get blocked.
So the timeout taken by Mukwonago. Time now to take a look at our hit of the game. That's brought to you by the Milwaukee Admirals, and that started our second half. It was on the opening kick. Karan Walker meeting up with the defender, Noah Hebner, and that is our Milwaukee Admirals hit of the game.
I'm sure one of the things discussed at halftime by Coach Ganevak, we're going to go out and we're going to start this second half and show them who we are. So Hebner got downfield and demonstrated just who he was.
So some scores we reported earlier. It was Germantown defeating Muskego 3-0 in a crossover matchup between the Classic 8 and Greater Metro. Oconomowoc leading Arrowhead 28-21 in the fourth. Fourth down and 2 from the 14. Martin in motion. Radabicki. Let's see if he got it. See where they mark it. Just across the line to gain. And they'll move the chains. Not changing anything. Their identity there, just run it through the A gap. Best Electric Service first down, first and goal. Excuse me, just outside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 11. 3 minutes to go. Waiting for the back judge to begin his countdown. Martin in motion near side. Handoff goes Radabicki. Penalty markers fly on the tackle. Might have a face mask here. Let's see.
Face mask or a hold. You're probably going to get your choice here of what gets called. Having a roundtable discussion here.
It's one of those spot fouls, too, so you got to figure out where it occurred.
Face mask.
So half the distance penalty was on Braden Thompson on the face mask penalty. And waiting for the back judge. See him in the picture on the chalk underneath the goal post. He'll raise his hand signifying under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Radabicki walks it in for his third touchdown. No, it was Mason Kelly. Excuse me. Had everybody fooled. Mason Kelly takes it in for the touchdown. And
well, fooled for a good reason. An excellent fake. Radabicki really made it look like he had the ball. Kelly hit it well.
Steamfitter's 601 touchdown. Great fake. Got the edge, beat Denor to the pylon. Saganic on for the extra point. Official stopping play here. Not sure what this is all about. Like an equipment violation of some sort.
On the defense, and Mukwonago declines.
So Saganic to tack on the extra point. This one is up and through. 34-17 with 2:23 to play. Again, game a lot closer than this final score will indicate.
Yeah, this isn't indicative of what we saw so far this evening. You know, we mentioned, you know, Kettle Marine next week finds themselves playing Muskego, who's going to be just, you know, itching to get a win and very needed. And Mukwonago has this tough game, now has to go play Oconomowoc. Still waiting to see how their game winds up with Arrowhead.
So they capitalize on the turnover, the fumble recovery, 22 yards in 4 plays. Mason Kelly, the quarterback, with a touchdown. Our scoring summary brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. And Muskego now 1-3 in the league with that loss. Mukwonago at home against Oconomowoc next week. Then they face Waukesha West, and then the crossover against Marquette. Meanwhile, Kettle Marine has Muskego on the road. Pewaukee at home, which will be their homecoming game. Homecoming was originally supposed to be tonight, but because of all the flooding problems that they had, they will have that one against the Pirates on the 11th, and then they wrap up the regular season at Arrowhead, who was trailing Oconomowoc late in that ball game.
This could be a situation this year, depending on how things shake out at the end. If Kettle Marine can get to 3 wins in the conference, could still make the playoffs. It all depends, you know, how many schools have qualified, have got the 4 wins in their conference, and there are so many scenarios that could play out. It's incredible.
It leads for a sleepless Friday night. You want to get that 4th win and say, I'm in. 5 receivers going out here for Jersey. Far sideline, completes the pass. Lorich with his first catch tonight. Grayson Lorich, 6'8". They'll mark it at midfield. Clock starts up again once the chains are set.
Jersey is throwing the ball well this evening. Done an excellent job directing this offense.
Trip stacked to the right side. 7 to play. Teague Kowalski back in there now. They'll stack up 3 receivers. Kowalski, the 3rd in that line. They'll stack the other 2.
Pass receiver in front of you.
Again, everybody going to the wristband plays. They'll call out a number and a color.
Empty backfield again.
Stack 3 receivers to the right. Movement up front.
I'm pretty sure Hunter Siskevich is going to hear about that in film. He made a little shift and I think got himself a little bit unbalanced in his stance. Came across.
So 1st and 5 from the 25. Jersey again. Climbing the pocket, now on the scramble, goes down. It'll be a short gain of 1. Again, they'll stack 2 receivers here, Kowalski and Bester. Quarterback draw. Jersey breaking tackles inside the 15, wrestled down at the 12. And a timeout taken by the Lasers. Jack Savasta, his 8th tackle. Plus, there are no secrets. This is on film. This is going to give Coach Krause and Muskego some things to think about going into their game next week. I mean,
the classic,
different look of the Kettle Marine tonight versus the Kettle Marine from 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Right. You know, and sometimes, you know, you've had 2 very outstanding senior clubs. The coaching staff for the Lasers has to say, all right, we showed up. We competed very, very hard.
In what is probably the toughest, most competitive high school conference in the state.
Yeah, I think top to bottom. You know, it's been a shame. Milwaukee has found itself placed in there, and they're at a size disadvantage, and they're competing hard. Their games have been tight.
Bester in motion to the end zone. Contact. Kowalski knocked down before the ball got there. And again, Marshawn Sanders, I think that's the second time he's gotten there early.
Pass interference, number 5, half distance to the goal, still first down.
That's a 50-50.
It was interesting, the one official that was on the end line out there wasn't quite so sure it was a pass interference.
1st and 5. And quads to the right. They'll throw that way. In traffic, catch made. Touchdown, Kettle Marine. I believe that was Ben Bester with the reception. Take another look. That was thrown into heavy traffic. And 3 receivers all in that same area, along with 5 defenders.
Not sure how that pattern was drawn up.
Kowalski on the fake. Did not get in. Double fake that time on Kowalski, able to keep it, but could not drive. 7 plays, 70 yards. Touchdown pass to Bester from Jersey. Onside kick upcoming here with 41 seconds left in this ball game. As we said, Blazers made a good accounting of themselves tonight with all the distractions this week, and injuries. They had to change some things up and had the confidence to go out there with a lot of these changes. Some of the things that new stuff that they really hadn't worked on. And I give credit to the young men out there with, like I said, all the distractions going on and virtual classes, not on campus, things canceled, homecoming canceled. You got all this going on, yet focused tonight. They came out and played a hard football game.
And the coaching.
Changing hands about 4 or 5 times. And Mukwonago has the football. I believe it was Cade Gunderson who held on to it after it deflected off of Luca Tess at midfield. Tess with 1 onside recovery.
See if they even bother to call the timeout.
Victory formation for the Mukwonago Indians. Blazers elect not to take the timeout. They'll get the handshake line going at midfield. What a ball game tonight. Meet out at midfield. Mike Gnavic and Matt McDonald with the handshakes as Mukwonago gets to 3-1 in the league, 5-1 overall with a 34-23 victory, snapping 2-game win streak in this series. So Mukwonago in control now, and they have a big ball game at home next week against Oconomowoc. That'll be an interesting matchup. We'll be back with our post-game show. We'll have the Player of the Game presentation brought to you by the United States Marine and the Marquette University Champions Trophy presentation when we return to Kettle Marine. 34-23 Mukwonago, Friday Night Rivals on My 24. It was a dogfight tonight, to say the least, and Mukwonago pulling away at the end as the Indians knocked down the Lasers 34-23. Both teams made a good accounting of themselves tonight, and I think changed identities a little bit here tonight. I think Kettle Marine is going to be a tough out the rest of the way if they can continue to have confidence in what they're doing offensively.
Right. Plenty to celebrate on their behalf.
Well, talk about celebrations. Let's head downstairs. Mike McGivern has our player of the game presentation brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
Appreciate it.
Hey, offensive line did a nice job. Before we went on, sir, I'm all set with that stuff. But I'd love to talk about this offensive line. He did that. As a U.S. Marine, Captain America, you got to admit, a guy like this, you said, look, I don't know if you want to talk to me, talk to my line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's giving up to his line. They're the ones that are making space for him. Every contest has a little bit of friction. It was fun to watch him fight through that friction and lead your team to victory. Congratulations.
Amen. Boys, back to you.
Up the middle. That's a look at the package on Mason Radabicki. Our
team is tough, physically and mentally, and we're going to show that, I think, to you and for the rest of the year. I was really impressed when they fought back, right? When they punched back, you guys just came right after it, and everything you told me about this team was true, Coach.
Yeah, we climbed the hill. Yeah. You know, it's never easy.
U.S. Marine player of the game, he said, look, this offensive line is so good, and so I wanted you to bring one of these boys up. Boy, did they play well tonight.
Yeah, that's what we do. It's on me at the end of the day because I coach the O-line.
I know that. That's why I had you bring one up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they're not doing their job, fire me first.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, like you had talked about this league and this conference, and we've had this conversation. Kettle Marine has lost a lot of guys, and they were trying to get me to feel sorry for them. And I said, I do not feel sorry for you at all, and nobody else will. And they kind of laughed a little bit. But I'll tell you what, every team in this conference is going to give you everything they've got.
Yeah, no question. Like I told you on the air, we had a battle last week against Milwaukee. Yeah. This conference is the best in the state. There's no question about it. I've coached in the FEA. I've coached in the Classic 8, and every week is a battle.
Hey, Coach, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. Good luck, boys. Well done. See ya.
Mason Voss lifting high the Champions Trophy, brought to you by Marquette University. Be the difference. And yes, Mukwonago will celebrate, but it's back to work on Sunday as they climb that hill.
They'll be out there running.
Final tonight, 34-29. Mukwonago on top of Kettle Marine. We'll take a break, come back with a final word here from Kettle Marine High School right after this on My 24. 34-23. Mukwonago on top of Kettle Marine tonight, snapping a 2-game losing streak at the hands of the Lasers. Time now to take a look at tonight's Protect, Defend, Save play of the game, brought to you by the United States Coast Guard, and it was just a couple of minutes ago. Onside kick here. And finally got covered up by Mukwonago.
Second time they recovered the onside kick this evening. Very critical to running out the clock on this game.
That was recovered by Cade Gunderson. That's our West in Milwaukee. Went into overtime tonight. This is what makes the Classic 8 special.
No, it is truly a grind, and it'll be interesting to see how things play out the next 3 weeks.
Mukwonago takes on Oconomowoc next week. Kettle Marine at Muskego next Thursday night. So a Thursday night game for this Kettle Marine team. Big thank Stratton College, Carthage College, Liuna Local 113, Marquette University, Menards, the Milwaukee Admirals, Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, Russ Darrow Automotive Group, Steamfitters Local 601, the United, our victory away from becoming playoff eligible when we get to our game next week. Again, don't forget, our replay for this game will be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and then tune in next Friday night at 7. As I mentioned, Southeast Conference matchup, the Case Eagles travel north to Oak Creek to take on the Knights of Oak Creek High School. We'll have that for you beginning at 7 with our kickoff, and it all starts at 6:30 with Mike McGibbooth. Andy Spitzer doing a nice job with the numbers. Sean Raffaelli, our spotter. And thanks to you, Mr. Kelly, for all your fine pros tonight.
Always fun.
Always fun it is. John Weiser saying good night from Kettle Moraine High School, where tonight the Mukwonago Indians knocked down the Kettle Moraine Lasers 34-23.
action. In Jersey with a nice that's a completion. Jersey to Dunham. Jersey to Spellman out to the 15-yard line. Flag on the play. Pass intended for number 15. Kowalski, touchdown, the Rangers! Kowalski, touchdown, the Rangers! Number 13, under 5 minutes. Well, it would actually be about 15, but the Laser Dog race, Emmy Kuka, Twin Lotus, McKenna Holzhauer, and Brody Schiff tonight. Dunham out past the 40 to the 38-yard line. Pass is incomplete. We'll bring up a inside the 20 down to the 15. Kowalski's kick is JD out past the 20-yard line. Taken down by number 20. Tenor out of the Wildcat. First and 10. Charlie Dunham pushed out aggressive. Play was blown down. Kelly met by a handful of lasers. Entry. Pass complete to Dunham. Pick up Jersey down the 11-yard line. That'll be a 1st and 10.